Hi everyone, this is Pod D 5A's lesson plan. To begin, we will introduce our content standard. Our content standard for this lesson plan is Grade 5 Standard 4. Students understand the political, religious, social, and economic institutions that evolved in the colonial era. Substandard 6, describe the introduction of slavery into America, the responses of slave families to their condition, the ongoing struggle between proponents and opponents of slavery, and the gradual institutionalization of slavery in the South. Our learning objective is History Social Science, Grade 5, Standard 4, Substandard 6. Scholars will be able to describe the beginning of slavery and the perspective of those affected through a video journal, Flipgrid, or mind map with a minimum of 3 different perspectives or examples. We were able to find our level of cognition content within our substandard. We were able to identify level of cognition by looking for the verb that was acting on the content, and in this case it was the level of cognition described. And for the content, we were able to refer back to the level the verb or level of cognition in the substandard 6 and see what content it was acting on. And we condensed the content into 10 words to fit the requirements of the learning objective. Our products were determined by figuring out what level of Bloom's taxonomy the level cognition was underneath, and we were able to find out that the level of cognition described is underneath the level 2 of understand in Bloom's taxonomy. Our co-teaching model used would be station teaching. One of the barriers that we found or that we figured about was internet access. If this lesson would be taught via Zoom, many students within our classroom, based on the demographics, come from low poverty, low income families, and so internet access may not be the best within their communities. So we decided to resolve this issue by recording each Zoom lesson with captions and uploading it to the online classroom, whether it be the Bitmoji classroom or Google Classroom, so students could refer back to the videos if they miss a session due to lack of internet access or signal. Another barrier that we came across for teaching was different primary language. Many students at home speak a different language and may not understand fully instructions within classrooms due to the language barrier. So in order for us to help students understand and make connections throughout the lesson, we decided to provide immersive readers that will help them translate instructions and articles from English to their primary language for them to understand. And this also falls underneath CSP, which is Culturally Sustained Pedagogy. And this falls underneath translanguaging within the classroom, and it will help students continue to grow their primary language while still working on their English skills instead of trying to diminish their speaking abilities. We are promoting them to practice their language and feel comfortable speaking it in the classroom. Another barrier we found was sensitivity to noises and sounds. Many students become off task or get distracted due to loud noises and sounds and also light. So we have decided to resolve this by diminishing the noise levels within the classroom, by muting other students if it's in via Zoom lesson. We'll mute students while we are teaching so other students won't be distracted by the noises, and we will avoid bright lights within the video cameras. Another barrier we found is that many students feel under pressure when being asked a question or when preparing them to answer a question, or they may feel nervous sharing their opinions and thoughts. So we came up with a solution of providing cues to students to advise them before a question that we are going to call on them so they could be prepared and have time to think of an answer. And this would actually help students who suffer with a disability like autism or dyslexia. Will give them more time to prepare and will allow them to not feel pressured. Our evidence of mastery assessment Students will display evidence of mastery through their completed product/activity with the requirements of 3 perspectives or examples. 3 possible ways to show evidence are Flipgrids, mind maps, and video journals. We referred back to our learning objective for this part of the lesson, because in order for them to show that they have mastered the information and understand it, we just kind of went back to learning objective and restated it. Some barriers when it comes to evidence of mastery and assessment is that not all students will know how to demonstrate or talk about different perspectives of history. And we will resolve this issue by demonstrating to students that narratives and history books are always more tended to lean toward just the main figure of a white male hero instead of the historic figures with colors and different genders. So we will try to retell history in a manner that incorporates all different historic figures. Our evaluation consists of formative assessments, which will be students will be able to answer the following questions within the span of the lesson. And one of the barriers was not all students retain information the same way or enjoy taking tests. So we will be using UDL to help provide students with different types of formative assessments that pertain to their intelligence scale. And for the summative assessments, we restated our the 3 proper perspectives that pertain to people undergoing the following roles in America, whether it be a slave owner, slaves, slave children, or anti-slave people, so they can demonstrate that they understand how different people lived during that time.